everybody. So I'm back for another episode review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 6, episode 21. Where there's smoke, there's Marsau. Okay. First of all, I really want to thank everybody for, liking the video, subscribing to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like the video and subscribe. I really appreciate all of your support. All right. And y'all be sure to drop things in the comments. Feel free. I mean, let me know what you think. Anyway. Okay. So we pick back up with Kiki and Mel talking at that restaurant. Right? So I'm like, how long can we go on with this? Y'all can never find no proof. Now, the one thing I can give Marsau is that whether this shit is true or not, he got enough sense to respect his family enough to hide that shit so well that even in a small town like Huntsville, can't nobody quite put the pieces together. And even when they try, them names that keep come up through a car honking sound or I gotta give it to him. So apparently there is a story about Marsau having an affair with a young woman, and they had a threesome. We talked about that last week. Now Kiki says she found out not by like regular rumor, because I'm just like, people in Huntsville are bored, right? What is happening? Okay, okay, it's just gonna have to happen. Okay. I don't know what's happening right here. Oh well. Okay. There we go. Something like that. Anyway, so she didn't find out by regular rumor. Okay, this is what happens. Because apparently the boyfriend of the woman who is allegedly sleeping with Marsau contacted Kiki. Okay, because he found out that his woman was cheating on him with Marsau. So he reached out to Kiki, and Mel said, do you think she knows or heard about it? And Kiki was like, yes, I'm sure she did. She was like, because he messaged Tisha about it, right? Why does that keep happening? Because he messaged Tisha about it or whatever. So I am certain that Tisha has heard this before too. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it's true or not true. We all know how that goes. But it does matter. I know y'all like, please stop doing whatever it's doing, because it's bothering me. And the camera's always opposite of whatever. Anyway. And Mel is up there eating it up, okay? She didn't have to look like she was eating it up, but Mel, I see you, okay? Because I deal with my haters like that sometimes, okay? Just let other people talk and listen. So anyway, so Kiki was in her confessional telling us that she was tired of Tisha. Let me tell y'all something. Sometimes I mix up Kiki and Tisha's names, so y'all just gonna have to follow me and just know based on behavior, because they look like fucking the same person. They look like twins. If I didn't see them together, I would think Tisha was playing a whole different part on the show. Anyway, so Kiki was basically in her confession telling us that she is tired of Tisha believing her gaslighting husband over her own flesh and blood. Okay. All right. So eventually Kiki and Tisha finally do talk. Now, Kiki said that when she found out, she said, I prayed over it heavy because it's a difficult topic, and it is. Nobody wants to hear that, ever. They don't. Okay? And that's a typical reaction. And certainly when it's a marriage and when it's public, it's just a lot. So she said, I invited Tisha over so they could talk. But Tisha never came. And Mel agreed with her. She was basically like, yeah, you want to see somebody's reaction. You want to see their face when that kind of thing. You don't want to do that over the phone, right? Because it's too many misunderstandings and that kind of thing. Well, like I said, Tisha never came. Then when she finally called Tisha to talk about it, Tisha turned it on Kiki and said, you should have come to me immediately. Why would you even wait this long to tell me? Why are you telling me what somebody else said? And the way Kiki described that, I'm not going to lie, it was so easy for me to see Tisha saying that and doing it just like she described. Because we've seen her do that over and over again. And it's just, Tisha's a simple-minded person. That's how she appears to me. I'm sorry. And I'm trying my best, but she seems very simple-minded. Like, she's limited in the way that she knows how to, react and deal with people. And, I think to some degree she chooses to be that way, because I do think she's a lot smarter than she acts. And before I could get it out of my mouth, okay, Mel said it. She was like, Tisha don't want to know. She doesn't. And honestly, it's as simple as that. And people leave a relationship when they're ready to leave in these kind of scenarios. Um, you know, abuse, physical abuse notwithstanding, because that can lead to death. People have to be very careful about how they do those kind of things. But what I'm saying is, she doesn't want to know. You can't make her leave him. Because I mean, I don't know how many ways Tisha can prove that to y'all, because it's clear she's not doing that. So Mel said, do you think he had actually, Mel's asking Kiki, do you actually think he had a threesome with whoever the person was? Because we kept hearing the car honk. And then the cat sound for somebody else's name. And then Kiki goes, no. And I was like, Kiki, Kiki, did you really just sit your ass there and tell all the details? And he was like, no, I don't think he had that threesome. And I'm just like, so why are you telling the story? Why not just stick to something a little bit more? Why you got to carry on? All right, you ain't have to share that story. Damn sure not on camera. Then she said, do you think he is having an affair? And she was like, I don't know. So I'm like, all it is, and you don't have no strong feelings, which didn't appear to be strong feelings at the time, okay? That we realize now in the story. And so Mel was like, well, where there's smoke, there's fire. She said, because that was what was said pertaining to my marriage. When, basically when she was dealing with her, issues with Martell having a side chick, Martell messing with multiple women, Martell having a side baby. But she said before she even knew about the baby, she had already made up her mind she was leaving Martell. She had had enough. She said, so by the time he told her that, it was just like another, kick. But she had already made up her mind. Anyway, so, and Tisha, you did do that. You did. Okay? Now, we all go through stuff. Because this is what I want to say, because I don't want to be insensitive. I really don't. Because, I don't know, if you've lived long enough, you know what it is to have your heart broken. You know what it is to be cheated on. And some people are like, I've never, been cheated on. And maybe you haven't. Or you didn't know about it. But I feel like everybody's experienced that one way or another. Most people have. If you're not, you're lucky. But most people can identify with that. So cheating, and I'm not just talking about women either, okay? Cheating is embarrassing for the person it happens to. Okay, not so much for the person who does it though. And that's our fault as a society. It really should be the other way around. But because we live in a society that often, and in this case I am talking about women, that protects men and their wrong behavior and blames women for the decisions that they make, we have a tendency to kind of fall in on ourselves. And that's why cheating is a form of abuse, especially when it happens perpetually, right? But that being said, Kiki was not done, okay? She kept on going. So she said, Macy and Mila started a hair care line. And Mel said, yeah, I heard of it. And she was like, oh, no, because it was, I saw it at the Black Expo. I said, Mel, you tried it. I caught you. But see, your country ass couldn't do it. You knew how to say expo, but you even trying to imitate Tisha. You was just being extra and mean. Anyway, so Kiki was going on the website. Kiki had been doing some investigating or social media investigating, whatever the hell she was doing. And granted, Macy and Mila are her little cousins, whatever. So she may have just been on there surfing or whatever. We found out later it's a whole social media thing. All right. And when it comes to return policies and shipping, it looked the same as Stormi's. Now, I'm thinking, okay, well, yeah, all right, whatever. But Kiki, she does explain it well. Kiki said, her and Stormi are working together, right? She said this to Mel, because it looks like her company is under Canvas Beauty, which apparently is Stormi's line or whatever. And Mel was like, after that meeting with them, she was like, all that tension? She was like, you couldn't tell me them two was working on nothing together. So Kiki was like, well, it's either that or whoever did it, copy and pasted it exactly as it was on the website and did a horrible job. And as sure as sugar, okay, before I could go through the recesses of my mind, they started playing those playbacks. And I remember when she tried to copy that little label from Mel, or made it so similar, it was like the same thing. And, trying to be like Mel and, and Mel's in the confessional. It was like, yeah, she has a habit of copying and pasting. Stormi, I guess it's your turn. And I was like, yeah. So Tisha has a weak personality though. And I think she is always looking for somebody to be close to and to be like. And it shows. It really shows. Next. Okay, so Maurice goes to get a car for Kimmy. Another scene that pisses me off. Okay, so when he said She's been asking for a Jeep for years. I was so annoyed. I was like, years? What the fuck? I was like, damn, you can't even buy your wife a Jeep, you cheap motherfucker. Then he said, well, I've been trying to persuade her to buy something more luxurious. Kimmy could buy her own car. Okay? All right. So that notwithstanding, nevertheless, like, why did she have to ask for something for 2 years when you had the money to buy it as her husband? And it's less expensive than what you had planned. So honestly, Maurice, that Jeep didn't even look new. And I'm not saying that like, people should drive the car they want. Okay? Like, I will forever, unless I choose to get one of those Broncos, which makes no sense in a place like New York, but I would love one of those Broncos. People should drive the kind of car they fucking want to drive, okay? If I don't buy a Bronco, I will drive a Toyota for the rest of my life, okay? Because they are reliable as fuck, and the one I got was manufactured in Japan, and I found it at a summer blowout sale and had no idea, okay? Okay. Anyway, that's a long story. But I'm just saying, let people drive what they want to fucking drive, you bastard. And honestly, Maurice, on top of the fact that it didn't look new, it didn't look that wash either. And then you taking this so-called new car to get some fucking rims. I said, where are we in the early 2000s? And I thought to myself, shit, maybe we are in Huntsville. But hell, Huntsville I'd be in the... Never mind, I'm not going to even start. So then he had his sorry brother come and visit him, Marsau. All right. So then he made a comment that she said, he's telling Marsau this. He said, well, Kimmy wanted a car where her hair could blow in the wind. She would be able to lay her top down. And he said, well, at that time, I was like, well, you don't have much hair right now. And Marsau tried to keep his dumb ass from saying that shit out loud. And first of all, you dumb fuck. You don't need long hair to let the wind go through it. And Kimmy wears wigs anyway. So what are you talking about? And you can wear a wig when you have chemo, you broke bastard. Anyway, and Marsau, to his credit, because we can't give him much, but he tried to stop Maurice before he finished saying that hateful ass shit, certainly in front of the camera. He was like, don't say that. And he was like, I mean, she didn't have that much hair then. I'm like, you sorry motherfucker. Okay? And it's official. I don't like Maurice. I don't. Because his type is fucking dangerous. And Kimmy, I know you still going through stuff, but he ain't worth it. He's not worth it. So, and Kimmy, let me tell you, if I was married and living in all places, Huntsville, which I don't ever know why, but nevertheless, I would not let my husband fucking go around with a car like that with butterfly doors. Why are we pulling rank on what kind of cars people should and should not drive? Let me tell you something. That's a I'm trying to pick up chicks wherever I go kind of car. Okay? He could not have one. He could never, ever have one. Okay? Period. I'm just saying. And why are these Scots so damn stubborn and sexist? Like, I just can't understand how your wife asked for a car and you are just, like, not budging on something so small and so fucking stupid. Maurice, you a dumbass. Anyway, and it's obnoxious. So I see why y'all were so cool and still cool with Martell. Because birds of a feather flock together and we can see it. So Maurice starts telling Marsau, like, look, man, I just need to tell you that my sex life hasn't been the same since this cancer. And Marsau was like, he looked at him kind of strange and was like, why are you telling me that? And something about that whole even saying that to his brother felt weird to me. And I know women can talk about different things. I don't talk about my sex life with my sisters. I don't. Now, if somebody came to me and just needed to, get some stuff off their chest, fine. It don't happen like that. We talk about a lot, but that ain't. No, baby. There are certain things we just don't need to know. Okay? And he was like, first of all, why are you telling me that? And that was the way I felt. And he was like, first of all, me and Maurice haven't talked about our sex lives since we were like 12. Back when we were lying about our sex lives. That cracked me up. Okay. So then he was like, that's like somebody, he was like, and I'm telling Kimmy, it's mental. He said, that's like somebody telling you you're not in pain right now with this strap thing around your waist because you hurt yourself. He said, it's like somebody telling you that you have an injury and just take it off. It's all in your head. Bend down, touch your toes. This son of a bitch takes it off. So he was like, I do that to get some ass. First of all, Now, while I'm being vulgar, I also ain't married to nobody. Okay, so don't come up here judging me. But that's kind of vulgar and disrespectful coming out of a married man's mouth, and certainly on TV. Fuck you, Maurice. All right. Um. So then Maurice jumps into why he's having this cookout. He's having this cookout because the last time the group was together, that's what he tells us. Last time the group was together, it all went bad. Of course, it went bad. None of y'all's comeback group meetings or any add-on job added to the comeback group ever go well. But anyway, and he was like, well, I'm having, this to bring people together. He said, I'm going to give Kimmy the Jeep there. You know what, Maurice? You the kind of motherfucker that wants people to see you giving your wife a gift like that in that kind of group. So when you act like an asshole to her in public and private, people will say, but he did this and he did that. You're not fooling me. I see right through it. I see right through it and I don't like it. All right. So honestly, I don't know how Marsau came out of that conversation being the reasonable one, but he did. And like I said, Maurice, it's official. I don't like you. Okay. So Stormi and Courtney, we get them in bed. Stormi, bless her heart, got sick or something like that. I think Courtney just worried, especially after he described her pregnancy or whatever. I just can't for the life of me understand why people have named their children Stormi. Especially when it's not short for something. It just seems like I understand it as a superhero name or something. It just seems, I don't know. It seems like it's a stripper name. That's what comes to my mind. Or just like, I don't know, just every kind of negative connotation comes with it. Like maybe if it was in a different language or something, we'd miss it. But like, I just don't understand. And that goes for anybody who does it, not just her. And not just because I don't like her. Anyway, so Courtney's telling her he thinks she needs to slow down. And I think so too. If it means like it's going to hurt you in the long run and not be there for your family, I get it. Now, Stormi's talking about the cookout or whatever, and she was like Kiki, and Kiki was the first one to reach out to me when she heard I was sick, and she was like, I like Kiki, and Courtney was like, even after you called her Darkwing Duck, I said, damn, I didn't know that. I don't remember them playing that part from the original episodes, and the way Stormi was laughing, Stormi was really laughing, calling her Darkwing Duck, okay, and Darkwing Duck is back. I remember that cartoon, but I was just like, Stormi, why is that so funny? Like, why is that so funny to you? Okay. Anyway, so I just didn't understand why she was laughing so hard. All right. Anyway, she said she does like Kiki. She said Tisha texted her, but she didn't text her back. And then she starts telling him the story about the Canvas Beauty website and email address and stuff being used. Now, Courtney starts cracking up, like, because it's got to be, like, ridiculous, right? But at the same time, I'm sitting up here like, this was all over social media. You telling Courtney, like, he's never heard this before. And she was like, well, you don't know this. How the hell do you two live in the same house, claim to be so in love, and have the same business company, and this information don't get to him until we on camera? Girl, bye. Well, you just reminded him of how to behave, because Courtney is me. I would have laughed at that shit because that shit is just too dumb to be mad about. Apparently, the internet was dragging her or whatever. So Stormi was like, well, I'm going to go to this cookout to address her. She was like, I don't want to fight about her or anything. She said, I'm actually embarrassed for her. And she was saying like, and it was up there for a while. Now, Tisha told us a different story. She said the web designer took it down immediately. Tisha, you've known to stretch the truth. Okay, to a falsity. Anyway, so what I got from that conversation is that Stormi picked up that Tisha doesn't really understand business. She doesn't. She may have degrees in it, but she really doesn't get it. And so she brings up the barbecue to Courtney. And he's like, I'm not going. She was like, no, don't do that. But Courtney is me. You have to know yourself well enough. And I know this because I do the same thing. I will self-isolate, not attend certain things when I already know that things are intense or I just don't like you and you're going to be there, because I will take it and try my best to deal with something because I am one of the people who try to avoid embarrassing myself in public. But when you have managed to get me worked up and angry like that, it's best for all parties involved that I do not show up. And seeing how that cookout went down, Courtney made the right decision. Anyway, so Tisha and Marsau. All right, so Tisha and Marsau are working on another project. Okay. They claim to have a plan that is on track. Okay, Tisha. Okay. We'll believe it when we see it. Can y'all just please get something together? Can y'all get Scott Manor together? Can y'all just... Anyway, so they started talking about this barbecue. I'm like, y'all act like y'all going to the fucking Met Gala. Like, why the fuck is all this conversation? But anyway, all this shit had to happen in the course of like 24, 48 hours. But anyway, so Marsau said something that I felt. I'm not gonna lie. When he said you can't, he was talking about going to a barbecue. Everybody keeps asking me how I feel about Courtney and Stormi being there. And he was like, you can't fall out with somebody you were never friends with. Now, I'm not gonna lie. That shit tickled me. Because I was like, you know what? You're right. If I didn't consider you a friend, I really can't fall out with you. You go right back to being whoever you were. Okay, anyway. And the gag is all of these people are talking about Marsau seeing Courtney and what's going to happen, whether it's Maurice and Kimmy with Stormi or Marsau talking to Tisha, and Courtney ain't even going, hadn't even planned to go. So all of this was for naught, okay? Anyway, so somebody called the city of Huntsville, and then they said, Huntsville got to have one court reporter and maybe two people who file papers, but okay. Called the city of Huntsville and said that Black was having illegal gambling. Who y'all think that was? I definitely think that's somebody they know, or somebody who watches this show and is hating because they couldn't get on. Y'all think it's Fred? Y'all think it's Fred? Fred who was out there with the garden on the house line. Anyway, or maybe, you know what? Or maybe it was Nell. Now, I don't want to believe Chris Fletcher had a bitch move like that, but I think Nell would do it because she was mad about not being invited to them scenes so she could tape. Or Fred. Anyway, and they said Black has some illegal gambling over there for something that hasn't even happened yet. Okay. So Marsau is exhausted by it, and he's not sure if he wants to do it anymore, the casino night or whatever. And he said he doesn't want the association of it being investigated. And honestly, I get it. Sometimes when you have enough problems, you have to ask yourself, do I have to do this in the midst of this? Is this something we really have to do right now? And y'all already being sued for like $5 million, and the way Tisha and Maurice, Tisha and Marsau, all these damn M names, Tisha and Marsau are set up. Like, do y'all really need to do this? Or y'all just doing this for a scene? It just seems to be too much. Don't do it. And y'all already up for fraud. It's going to make y'all look bad. And whoever reported it knew that. Now, the question is it illegal to have a casino set up without approval in the state of Alabama? Is it possible? Especially in the Black Belt? Yes. That it could have easily been illegal and been shut down very quickly. Now, see, that's how you know. See, the person really wanted to get them. See, that's how we know it wasn't Mel. Because the person really wanted to get them. They would have waited until the evening of the casino night and then called the police. So we know it wasn't nobody quick with it like Mel. So anyway, I don't know why this hair's bothering me. All right. So Tisha is crying about how she gets a lot of hate, and she got a lot of hate because of the website, and they paid a lot of money for the website designer, and it was quick, but nevertheless we heard it. Marsau was like, yeah, but honestly, that's something we should have caught. Yeah. And to Stormi's point, she said, like, if you know, as she said, that's how I know, when she was making a point earlier about Tisha and business, she was like, that's how I know she had nothing to do with her website, because she would have been able to go in and just start to fix it. You learn how to use a website or whatever in that way. And I was like, yeah. And I understand everybody has feelings and it gets overwhelmed. And I'm sure being on TV, like, reality TV is a blessing and a curse for some people, right? Most people. You can't get all the good without some of the bad and having your business exposed. And I can understand that can be a lot. But Tisha, that's what you're dealing with. The good and the bad. All right, so Kimmy and Maurice are having a cookout. This is where all the shit went down. All right, so who told Maurice to wear that shirt, that blue shirt, with that bright pink Hawaii-looking flower, and that HBCU homecoming straw hat for the 40-plus crowd, okay? I know that kind of straw hat. I know it, I see it, I know it, okay? because my daddy wore them to homecomings. Anyway, so Stormi pulls up in that country ass cheap gold plated, gold painted vehicle. That shit looks so country and bad. Like, get a black car, get a white car. You do not want to stand out like that because that's how your shit gets got. Okay, but that's just me. So they asked, well, where's Courtney or whatever? And she said, well, Courtney is not coming. He was like, what? Why? She was like, I don't think he wants to be around your brother. I said, oh, shit, okay. So Stormi said, but he does like barbecue. He wants me to bring him a plate. And Kimmy and Maurice were like, no, it don't work that way. You got to earn a plate. You can't say, y'all cheap. And she going to get a plate anyway, just because y'all said that. So, let's not act like, and Maurice is like, well, Marsau said he's fine with it. First of all, Marsau lies all the time, okay? He lies all the time. And let's not act like this shit couldn't end up in an ass whooping. We don't need that, okay? We don't need that. So, Mel shows up, okay? Ready to turn up. I got to give it to her. She was like, I'm done today. Looking cute. Like, Mel done giving birth to 4 human beings. And is a millionaire. Been married for 14 years to a man, divorced. She has lived like 2 or 3 lives and looking good. Won't God do it? Won't God do it? I just get happy for other people's blessings because it's good to see people win, especially good people. I like Mel personally. So anyway, so Mel showed up with playing cards and everything with a shirt that says, I'm on what you on. Okay. Like, if you want it, you can get it, okay? And so she asked Kimmy, she said, yeah, what you want? Kimmy was like, the grill. I said, okay, never mind. So, Marsau, I thought to myself, I said, Marsau and Courtney, are y'all really going to let Martell and Mel out mature y'all and both showing up for that fucking cookout? Because wherever their kids are, they probably with the grandparents, which means both of them know where the kids are and are not. So they knew each other had to be coming, whether they talk or not. I said, y'all going to really let that happen? But they did. But then Mel and Martell did what they what they always do. Mel gives him this much, and she's not coming back, Martell. She's not. You had too many chances, and you played yourself. Okay? You really played yourself. So I was thinking to myself, matter of fact, Martell, why are you the one that should have stayed home? Okay? Because you need to be back at your house packing your shit. Why would you come somewhere Chris Fletcher was going to be? You know he going to ask you about moving. You know he going to be in your ass till you get out that house. I wouldn't show up nowhere. Chris Fletcher is like the repo man at this point, okay? Anyway, and y'all know Fletcher ain't having it. He ain't backing down. So Mel is over there with cards, and you can tell she is one of them serious card players. She's like, I am with Uno, okay? She's over there winning money, and Mel is just having fun, having the time of her life. While Stormi looks like she was hating sitting beside her. And I was just like, then bitch, get your dumb ass up. Like, whatever. And I think eventually Mel just moved to another table. Whatever. So Martell comes over, speaking to everybody and speaking to Mel. And Mel just, paid him. Okay, and I'm notorious for that. And maybe that's why the stuff Mel doesn't really get on my nerves the same way. Because it's either that or I'm going to drag you. Anyway, so... He's just in there trying to speak with Mel. Mel is done. She is done with him. And when I say that, I believe it. That kind of consistency with it, she ain't. If y'all get back on good terms, Martell, it's going to be because you are really going to have earned it and really turned your life around. Because she is not here for it. And she still ain't going to come back to you. So then Tisha's messy ass over there. Like, this is what pissed me off about them in general. Tisha's messy ass feels the need to say something. Like, these people haven't been divorced for at least 2 years. It was a public divorce. It was a nasty divorce. And there she is over in the corner somewhere bringing up, remember when you lost at Spades, Martell? And her and Marsau being messy. Yeah, when we were at Gatlinburg. And she was like, and Mel was cussing you out at the table because you was losing this, that, and the other. And I was just like, first of all, Tisha, we don't even see you on camera. Where the fuck were you at? Why would you bring that shit up? And Tisha, you already about to get played because we done seen the previews. And now you setting yourself up to get played with a lack of allies. Get the fuck out of here. So Stormi asked, so Kiki shows up. Kiki shows up at the cookout, and Stormi turns around, sees that she's walking in, and she was like, "Are y'all good?" And that was a messy ass question. None of your fucking business. Cause you've talked to Kiki, but you haven't talked to Tisha. Cause you gotta be with her about the website. Why you care? Why do you care? So, bitch, worry about how Courtney and Marsau ain't good. Okay, see, Stormi, I don't like you. Like, even when I try to give you like a little bit, I can't. So she starts acting funny. Tisha. So Kiki comes over, but, Mel speaks to her, but Mel ain't really had no time to play with nobody. She was playing cards. She was taking money, okay? She was serious. So Kiki comes over and speaks to Tisha. Honestly, it kind of happened so fast. I kind of missed, her, like, what she had done until the commercials went off and came back on. But as soon as Kiki walked over, Tisha just kind of curved her and stormed off like a child. After she said, she's good. I'm good. I'm good with everybody. Tisha, grow up. Grow up. Okay, so honestly, even Stormi's messy ass didn't try to put herself in it the way she ended up in it. Okay, this may be the one time, because Stormi, you was being messy when you was asking about their relationship, but the way you got roped into this one, and you didn't have the control of the rope, you really got pulled into some shit. So Kiki gets mad because Tisha done got up and stormed out, and eventually Tisha walks back over, and Kiki goes, sets it up to put the shit on blast. She was like, okay, so let me tell you what happened then. Okay, basically why Tisha's acting the way she's acting. Kiki said she wants to blame me instead of blaming the person she should really be mad at, who was essentially Marsau. All right? For, causing this kind of trouble or whatever. So Tisha is laughing and screaming over her, trying to ignore her, acting like she having the time of her life. Tisha, that shit is so fucking childish. And I do understand ignoring people to an extent. The difference is Mel was ignoring Martell, but even Kiki, she was happy to see her, but it was like she was in the motherfucking zone. Okay, she playing spades for money. She was there to take Nell and Chris for what they had and anybody else who wanted to get some. Okay, anyway. So you got to find a new way like to curb people, okay? Because this just looks like you can't handle anything. Now, Kiki is telling the information with these people's names, and we know this because we keep hearing a honk honk and a So Kiki snatches. She gets so tired of Tisha yelling. Snatches Stormi's cards, and she might as well snatch the pearls off of Stormi's neck. Like, the way she did it, it was just kind of like, oh, shit, this is deep. And she takes the cards and throws them at Tisha and Marsau because they kept asking for twos. They was getting all loud and shit. Now, this helped me realize that moment, that the tension, the hate, the pain between these two is deep. It's deep because the kind of anger that Kiki had feels like the kind of anger you had when you feel like you've been a good friend or, sister, cousin, whatever, to somebody and it was not reciprocated and you're hurt. And then you just blow up. And I get that. And Tisha is very passive aggressive in the way she deals with things. Now, Stormi asked if there is a table, not where she could talk to Kiki, where Kiki and Tisha can just talk and take this shit away from her. Okay, see, that's what happens when you don't bring your own car trying to force your husband into coming to that fucking barbecue, okay? You should have gotten your car and rolled out. Because let me tell you something, when shit get like that, it only goes up from there. So, I don't even feel like these people had started to drink good. So anyway, so Stormi asked, yeah, we got that. So Jayla, and I'm going to tell you the part that killed me. Jayla and Marsau are actively at that table, acting like this fucking catastrophe between Kiki and Tisha and that Stormi's been roped into is not fucking happening. This is the bizarrest shit I've ever seen, right? Because like I said, this shit can only go up. And this is a family matter. And Tisha is embarrassed. So Kiki not only got mad through the cards, and then she threw a glass of water on her face or something. And why did Mel look over at that table like she wanted to laugh? Let me tell you something. And when I saw the previews for next week, she was like, no, I've thrown drinks, but you thrown drink. Okay? See, you got to be from the South to know what that means. When people say drink, they talking about like, oh, you got a drink? That means you got juice, Kool-Aid, water, soda, anything like that, like drink. We ain't talking about like alcohol drinks. That's what they mean when you say drinks. Okay, we're going out for drinks. But drink Drink is just a regular sticky sweet shit, and you just said fuck it, okay? And she was like, now ignore that. I said, oh shit, shit, because that has to be humiliating. And all them memories of Jennifer on Basketball Wives when her husband did that, and that shit was disrespectful as fuck. Okay, there is something very debasing, I think, if you get something thrown in your face. At least that's the way it appears to me as I've watched it on these shows, okay? But it has to be embarrassing to be somewhere somebody just throw something in your face. So why Marsau acting like he going up to Kimmy, because Kimmy coming out the house, mind you, this is her home. She's going around in her green dress. She grilling like, what the fuck is Maurice sorry ass, straw hat wearing ass doing? And Marsau going up to Kimmy like he telling on Kiki. Like, I'm sorry, do you think Kimmy is about to get in the middle of this fucking fight? You need to tell your brother. Kimmy up here trying to feed y'all. Anyway, and poor Kimmy ain't even got her Jeep yet. And these motherfuckers throwing drink. Child, this episode game. Anyway, y'all be sure to like and subscribe and put what you think down in the comments. Just be sure to be respectful to everybody. And I will talk to y'all soon. Have a good weekend. Bye.